Hello guys, welcome back to the Fan View Live. Let me put my mic in my headphones there so I can hear myself. Yeah, that wasn't good, was it? City were poor today, unfortunately. That was a poor game of football, a shite game of football, and I want to hear what you guys have to say about it. That stung big time. As I said in my match reaction, I can take losing a game. I can. Trust me, I've seen the City lose enough games over the years during my time I can deal with the pain of a loss. What I can't deal with always is a loss that feels like that, because that was just abysmal. Like, I don't mind losing if we play well, because football happens, you know. Like, you lose games here and there, you know. It happens, you know. It's not the worst thing in the world, but losing, playing poorly, losing so abysmally, especially given the context of this game, Arsenal losing yesterday, man. There was a chance to put our foot on their throats to fucking make them scared, make them fear us, you know. Genuinely do that. But no, sadly, no, that's not how it went. So if you don't know how the Fan View Live works, basically, I do keep this open to people who support the channel on Patreon or YouTube memberships. It's just my way of stopping spam, because obviously a lot of people would just troll the channel. They'd ring in United fans, Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, whatever, and just probably put some crude on the channel or whatever. But I do, so I keep it open to members. And the link, of course, if you're a YouTube member, is over at youtube.com/Esteem Company. Click the community tab or the pinned comment, and you'll find the link there. Of course, that's how you do it. You click it, you get your webcam on, or not at all, just get some audio and you can chat to me. It's my way of doing it, giving back a little bit. Like Amar's just done, by the way. Amar, thank you so much, mate. Amar's just joined the channel. It's appreciated, Amar. You're a superstar, man. Welcome to the first team. And you can find the link over there. Now, I can see Keville Modi's actually sat there, man. Like, he's sat there in the holding room, so to speak. But I'm not sure if he's ready to have a chat or not. If you are, man, let me know and wave at the camera so I can see you. He is. I'll jump over now and chat to him in a second. But once again, yeah, that's how it works. So, of course, people like Guy and Amar and Sub to Flying Pig and who else is in the chat here. The members are that. They can jump on and have a chat with you guys. So, because, of course, I want to see what you think. Because it's not all about me constantly with this channel, you know how I know. Right, anyway. I'm going to bring Keville in 1 second. Oh, well, hang on 1 second. Stay there 1 second, Keville. I need to edit you onto the video. So you can't see it, but I can see Keville right now. And I need to make sure he's actually aligned in this video because he's not currently in shot on my end. And he will be in a second. Hang on, mate. Right. I think I'll be with you in a second. There you go, mate. How you doing? You okay?
Good. How are you doing, Steven?
How do you want me to answer that question?
We're all disappointed, ain't we?
Yeah, go on. So, what was your So, what's your general vibe and feeling after that? You know, how did this loss hit you personally?
I think the whole team is just dropped off in performance, and then Pep doesn't really know how to fix it right now. I'm not sure. And I mean, he's mentioned many a times that it takes time. It will take multiple games, multiple training sessions to
Yeah,
find the right stuff. But I don't think we have the time and like the space to do that. We're already 5 points behind with a game behind against Arsenal. And there's only less than 17 games left now. So it's it would be fine if this was at the start of the season, but like now we are halfway past the midway of the season, so it's not really
yeah. No, you're right.
fun, is it?
No, it's not at all. And do you think Guardiola knows how to fix this side right now? You know, given the players that we've got, do you think he?
I don't think so because I watched this athletic video and it was mentioning how Pep always likes to have um, two center midfielders, like holding midfielders, and then two other guys behind them. Like it used to be Stones and Diaz or Laporte and Diaz on the back, and then it would be Rodri and Zinchenko back in the day. But now that we don't have anyone, we just go two in the middle with Rico Lewis coming in often, and then just three center backs, and that's to stop the counters.
Yeah.
But it doesn't make sense because we are losing players in our attack and we can't score goals now. So
That's the thing, isn't it? Like, and I sit
it's
there
like
and say that, and I feel like we can see it. How do you pronounce your name, by the way? So I don't.
it's Keville.
Keville. Okay, sorry, I don't
Yeah,
because my
you're good.
surname.
You're good.
Yeah, my surname people get wrong all the time, so I just kind of ignore it. So I thought I want to get your name right, Keville. So we see this and we feel this. Surely Pep sees it too, or does he just see something different? Does he feel like it's? Why do you think he's doing it? Because if
I
we feel like
think
it's a problem, why do you think?
I think he's said that this should work, and I'm not sure if anyone is telling him that this isn't working out. I think he's just trying to find. I mean, obviously, we don't have the right personnel. Like, we don't have players that run in behind except Erling Haaland. And even when he does, no one plays in the pass, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Like, every attack is Grealish and Mahrez running back against two defenders, whereas it's just like no overlap, no one in the middle to help. All the center midfielders, Kevin and Gundogan, they also run in the box because Pep told them to.
yeah,
So now Grealish only has the option to pass it back to Ake or Rodri.
exactly. Yeah, and
And
there's not with all due
he,
respect to Ake,
yeah,
it's not the
yeah.
most creative, is it?
He's not Cancelo or even Zinchenko towards that. So
So
I mean,
go on, go on.
I don't think we have the right players for the system, and I think Pep is. I don't know. I think he's adamant on keeping the system. I don't know why.
I think is like we've sort of done this whole like Walker's always sort of played a little bit centrally, hasn't it?
Yes,
Like
yes, yeah, exactly.
so it's worked before, but as you said, we had Cancelo, who's like now we've got inverted Rico Lewis, who's basically asking to defend quite a bit, and I think we can get forward Rico Lewis, but he's not obviously going to be Cancelo creatively. But it
Yeah,
feels like we've just lost even the
yeah,
inverted plays, where one used to be inverted but attacking. Now the other one's just we've got two inverted and they're both defensive. That's what it feels like, doesn't it?
exactly. Yeah. I mean, Walker's dropped back, so that's the inverted gone back to a center back position. He doesn't really like go forward like he used to. I don't know if it's an age thing or he's just lost his pace now. But on the left hand side, I mean, we used to have Mendy back there. He would just like go forward back in the day.
Yeah,
Then we moved on to Delph and Zinchenko, who did like the coming in the inverted side. And even when back in the day when Walker used to come in the middle, he wouldn't like necessarily be that much in the middle. Like, he would often still make overlaps
yeah.
around KDB and Sterling on the right, and it just doesn't happen now. I don't know why. I think everything is just going in the middle, in the middle, in the middle to I don't know, maybe to pass it to Holland, but then no one does.
When you think about
So
like when we used to have like Zinchenko inverted, he's still a literal left-footed, left-sided player. So like he was still, there's still an element of that he could still offer a little bit of creativity out wide, and obviously he had that former attacking midfielder instinct. So
yeah,
and Delph of course was even a midfielder, so he could left-footed, so he could still offer a little bit of natural width. Well, it feels like we've got Ake doing it now, and Ake, out of all the options we've had there in general, when he's there, he's like the least creative we've got, and it's not his fault because he's been excellent and he's what
yeah,
he
he's
is. But
really good defensively.
he's just
He's probably our
not
best
Zinny, is
defender
he?
right now.
He's not
Yeah,
Zinny, and he's not even Cancelo. Like Cancelo was explosive and creative. Zinny was measured and so involved in our build-up and like so fundamental to our rhythm on that side. And it just feels to me like, I don't know if you see the same way, Keville, but it feels like Grealish is really isolated, like really on his own, and it feels like the same
yeah.
with
I mean,
Mahrez.
obviously, yeah, yeah. Same with Mars on the side. They both want to cut in as well. So, but then there's like three defenders there, including the holding midfielders, and they just get crowded out. That's probably the main reason why they feel isolated. It's
Yeah, yeah,
always like 2v1, 3v1s. And about Zinchenko, he used to play holding midfielder, but he wasn't that deep into that pocket that Rico is playing right now.
yeah,
He would often he would still overlap and he would still be in like the David Silva pocket, like that number 8 just whipping and crossing, like curling the left foot. So I don't know why Rico is actually like really sitting deep, like right beside Rodri. Well, I don't know why.
yeah. It's frustrating, isn't it, mate? Can you see? How do you see the rest of this season? Panning out from here, because I don't. Surely Pep can't keep doing this exact same thing for the next 20 odd games, in all competitions, because surely something will have to give, like something will have to, because I can't see positive outcomes if we carry on like this. Do you think you'll change anything? Do you think we'll see? Will we just kind of stumble over the line really and see where we finish until the summer?
Um, I think, as my pessimistic view, I would just say not really. Even Like it's just, I think it's in the city's nature. We don't have the right personnel. I think the league will be too hard to come back or two now,
Yeah.
especially if you see Arsenal have 54 points to play. How many are they going to drop, like including our games? Maybe 8 to 10. Like even then we have to win at least like 16 out of 17
Yeah.
games, and that's just, it's not going to happen.
We're not good enough right now, are we? I know that sounds crazy to say that about a City side, but it just
Yeah,
feels
it's,
that's the issue,
the
doesn't it?
performance is dead. The manager seems out of ideas. The coaching staff is not really, like, we haven't seen set plays, even the KDB set plays.
Yeah.
He didn't get anything right. He had like four or five really good opportunities. It's just nothing is going right
We scored the
at
most
the moment.
goals from set pieces last season in the Premier League and conceded the least goals last season in the Premier League from set pieces. So it was always basically our biggest strength, you know. As you said, it feels
Yeah,
like it's dropped off a little bit there, and I don't. We don't know because we never see what's going behind the dressing room. But when you see like
exactly.
Lilo leaving, who famously, well, according to reports, he was good for like managing Cancelo's moods and stuff like that. And maybe he was willing to challenge Guardiola. I don't know. But then we see obviously certain players leaving, and then a few more unhappy, and you just wonder if actually things are a little bit, not that rosy right now. And like we
Yeah,
don't know, but
even,
go on.
sorry, I'm not used to, I guess,
No, yeah, go for it,
chatting.
man.
Yeah, but yeah, even Pep said we played well. I know he tries to play the media, like somewhat, and protect the players, but come on, really, we didn't
You
play
worry that
well. That was
there's
one of
yes
them.
men around him, don't you? Like yes men are telling him, yeah,
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 I
yeah.
think so, and that's going to be an issue, especially in future. I
Y-
think for now we just look at Champions League and FA Cup and try our best to get as close to Arsenal in the league.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. Thank you so much, Cable, for chatting, man. It's
Yep.
been massively
Thanks to
appreciated,
you.
and I'll catch you
Nice to
very,
meet
very
you as
soon.
well.
Likewise, mate. Likewise. Thank you. You're a superstar. Cheers, man. Cable there with some very honest words, and I think he's correct, to be honest. Once again, if you don't know how the fan view live works, you guys can join if you've got. If you remember, click the link in the comments, as Cable did, as Guy did, who will get over to a second as well. Quickly, I will read the Guardiola comments. He said after the game, and you might want to avert your ears somehow. He said, I have the feeling that all the time against Spurs, it looks like it's my job to find a solution, but I have the feeling that we play well. He said, we created in the beginning, but they defended really well. The squad they have is fantastic and they're good enough, but for one reason or another, we're able to score and able to win. Do you know what, Pep, on that? We did start okay, I agree. And do you know what? They are a good side. Like this, we dump on Spurs all the time, but they are still fundamentally a good team with fucking quality players, with world-class forwards. It's true. It's also true. But guess who else also is meant to be that? Manchester City. And guess who else usually had the solutions to those problems? Manchester City. So this idea that, like Spurs are great, they are, but it doesn't mean we therefore have to be shit. Anyway, he said, I think we started well. We created many things, but after a mistake from 2 weeks ago, we did it again. Yeah, but that's only a small, part of the game, Pep. We did make a mistake to get the goal. But then after that, we did nothing, Pep. Erling Haaland did not have a single shot in the game. If you were not getting this Erling Haaland in a single shot, you're just not doing it right. Anyway, I could rant about this all day. I'm going to bring in Guy. 1 second. Guy, cheer me up.
Uh-oh. I'm supposed I have a difficult job here. Yeah, that wasn't good, was it?
No.
Wasn't the performance we wanted to see. And I think this was sort of defining. I think for the past month we've been sort of wondering, is this team good? Is this team bad? Are we just in a bad run of form? I think this performance sort of sets the tone for the rest of the season that we do have a problem. We can't paper the cracks anymore. Um, this just wasn't a fun watch for me.
Yeah.
City are not. It's just not fun to watch City play these days, and that's the depressing part. I can take losses, like you said.
Yeah.
But it's just a team looks so bereft of ideas. The players look lethargic. The players look frustrated too. Like, I genuinely don't know what we need to change, and that's on Pep.
No, I agree actually about the players looking frustrated, and I guess I guess in general as well, like the football isn't fun, and I would say, and maybe I'm oversimplifying it here, but if you're playing for Manchester City and you're playing with Kevin De Bruyne and Haaland and Alvarez, and you're playing under Guardiola, and you've won what we've won, I think the minimum you'd expect is the players for them to be able to enjoy themselves, you know, and enjoy the football. And like I feel like it's part of the deal, really. You play with Guardiola and you get this education. The football's great, and obviously it'll be difficult at times. I'm not saying it should be easy. There's a difference between easy, but I feel like, you know, they should be able to enjoy themselves. And I think it's sort of telling. Well, it feels telling for me that everyone looks unhappy with the football right now. You know, everyone. And
everyone sort of looks like they don't want to be there. And they're not really being shy about it in the media. Cancelo threw a fit. Bernardo obviously wants to leave Laporte. And I don't even think, like, just, you know, get rid of all these players, get new ones. I don't know that that's going to necessarily make things. But I genuinely don't know. I do hang by the side that I do think I'm noticing just more like poor performances rather than tactical deficiencies.
yeah,
But sorry.
no, you're right. You're absolutely right, mate. Like there's poor performances everywhere right now. And do you not think it's tactical then? Do you think it's more like what do you not think is the case of because players are performing badly because of the tactics? Do you think tactics are causing which way around do you think it is? If you know what I mean, like form or the tactics?
I think I do tend to think it's more the individual performances are just not good enough.
Okay.
The tactical side of things, it's not like foreign to these players, right? Nothing that we're doing this season has never been tried for Manchester City. Even though we played with a false nine last season, we've had Aguero, we've played with sort of the inverted wingers, we've played with inverted fullbacks. Nothing of the ideas that are presented are some like revolutionary. I do think that constant tweaking obviously doesn't help, but Guardiola has settled on a team, at least in the last month or so, and they've been too up and down for me to suggest that it's tactical, right? You know, one game it looks like the ideas are working, and then the other game it looks like they're completely run out of ideas. Yeah.
This is as well. These are the players that, according to Guardiola, are essentially happiest and hungriest. Then, you know, so we've got basically, by his own implication, the players that are the most hungry here, the happy faces, the happy flowers. You know, the ones that want to be in the team. Yeah, their form is still up and down. Like, if they're the ones that are, you know, happy and they're not, their form is still inconsistent. What is that not a real massive concern?
No, because they do have quality. I think every single player in this team has shown that they are completely and perfectly capable of not only like playing in this Guardiola team, but excelling in this Guardiola team. Every single one of them has had like a 9 out of 10 performance, I think, for City. And to me, I don't know why they can't seem to bring their A game. Like, for instance, I don't know if we want to talk specifically about this match, but for me, this match was lost on one player.
Okay.
And that's Rodri. Not just a mistake. I thought he had just an awful game in general. And that's not something that I would usually attribute to Rodri. I think he's been our most consistent player for the 2 seasons. And yeah, when it starts to become like, okay, this player that you just don't expect him to drop stinkers quite consistently in the last month or so, then you're starting to ask. It doesn't for me visually, I just don't see Pep asking him different things. I just see him making more errors. I just see him slowing down the game too much. I just see him not jogging enough. I just see him slower. So
is it on Pep though? If you've seen so many players make mistakes like that and maybe not looking and the form's up and down, is it essentially when you see so many people out of form or whatever, like, and they're that good players and we know they can be 9 out of 10s and we've seen it constantly, at that point is it just on Pep? And I'm saying that because obviously you know how I feel in general, but I'm asking it because obviously I want to know your opinion, you know?
I mean, what's the alternative, right? When he sees that a player that he really likes isn't performing, he usually does drop him, and we all moan about it, right? Kevin De Bruyne has been playing terrible for a good part of the last month, and today has been dropped. And if he had started today and played the same way that he's been playing, we would ask the same question about Kevin De Bruyne. But because he was dropped, now everyone's saying, why didn't he start De Bruyne? So, what can he do? I really don't know.
Do you not think there's any credibility in the idea that the tactical shift where we've gone to three at the back has not really given the results? Can you go back to the start of the season? Look at the performances where even though we weren't controlling the game particularly as much as we used to, we were winning and we were scoring goals. I think that's fair to say. Like, I'm going to look now. I'm going to just remind ourselves of, for example, I don't know, early on in the season where we beat. Let me have a look. United, and that formation that day was. It was Kyle Walker right back, Joao Cancelo, Kanji Ake. So back four, basically. We know how that's going to work. Cancelo a little bit going forward, Walker a little bit deeper, but ultimately they're playing full back. That day we had Bernardo Silva, Gundogan and De Bruyne. No Rodri, which is obviously, not necessarily sure that's particularly relevant, but notable. And then we had Foden, Haaland and Grealish. Very different to what we're used to now. Foden was on the right that day and Grealish on the left. And we created a fucking shit ton of chances and scored a load of goals. United, of course, were a mess, but then you go back to the game before that, for example. Sevilla, I don't know, away in the Champions League, Sevilla, good side. We battered them. 24 shots to their 6, And that game was Grealish, Haaland, Foden, Silva, Rodri, De Bruyne, Sergio Gomez, Diaz, Akanji, Cancelo. Attacking fullbacks there. It's very different now, isn't it?
You should harken back to the very last derby where we played for the back with Cancelo on the left and Walker on the right, a back four, and it didn't work.
I would say it was working though, personally. I would say it wasn't until that decision. That's my personal opinion, but
Yeah, I mean, okay, I also had my fair share of frustration about that result, but we clearly didn't perform to the level that we performed in the first derby. Should we play for the back? I agree. I do think so, but I don't attribute the drop in form to that particular reason.
Fair enough, man. Fair enough. Guy, is there any hope for the rest of the season?
Define hope. To win the league.
What do you think hope is? Yeah, like what?
I just want hope for me is that we see more fun performances from City because I just want to see the team playing well and scoring lots of goals. I'll take not winning the league. I just want the joy back for the players, really.
Do you know what? I'm with you on that, actually, weirdly. I want to win the league, obviously. But if we don't win the league and sort of find our identity again, and then we come out and score a fucking shit ton of goals, buy loads of players next season, look refreshed for it, then I can sort of get behind that. But we'll have to see. Guy, thank you so much for joining me, mate. Been a pleasure as always.
Have a good evening.
Catch you soon. Have a good evening, pal. Guy, top bloke. I'm going to go over to Louis, who's waiting as well. I'll jump over to him right now. 1 second. Oh, by the way, people asking, how do you join in the FanView Live? I kind of keep it open to members and patrons. So you'll find, if you're a YouTube member, which you can click by the link in the top of the comment section over there. You can find the link there. You can join via StreamYard. If you're a patron, you can go to patreon.com/Esteem Company. You can find the link on the blogs over there as well. Condinho, by the way, with the super chat saying this inverted fullback nonsense doesn't work. Maybe, do you know what? I think I would say it's the wrong players for the inverted thing. If you're going to have someone in midfield, it used to be Zinchenko who'd sit a little bit deeper every now and then, or Kyle Walker occasionally with his pace, but the other person got forward. The problem is, I think we've got neither fullback offering any attacking threat. If one's been defensive, the other has got to be offer loads. And the problem is we're playing three at the back at the same time. So it's sort of like previously one inverted, and it became a three in the and we still have two at the back and one went forward. But now it's just. I think it's the way we're using it. But anyway, I'll bring Louis in now. 1 second. Hiya, mate. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Dejected, is the best way to put it. How are you feeling after that?
Where not to start?
Yeah.
I can't believe what happened. I don't know what happened really.
Not much,
But
unfortunately, mate. Not much. That's the thing. Uh, how do you feel about? How do you feel about basically the lack of changes in that game? I would say because basically we started that game in the exact same way we ended it. You know, like we ended in the same way we started it. There was no real system changes. Guardiola kept it the same throughout it, and in my opinion, it didn't get any better. You know, it didn't warrant a lack of changes. Did you feel the same way?
I think what summed it up was swapping Mahrez for De Bruyne, and then Bernardo only had one action in that second half from the right wing, and he got, was it Perisic or I think it was Perisic. He got him like the first moment he had.
Yeah.
He got Perisic booked, and it's then he swaps Bernardo for Gundogan, and it's just like, you for real?
Yeah, it felt a bit scattergun, doesn't it? Really, like he didn't really.
Yeah.
It sounds weird, but it felt like he didn't have a plan with those changes, which is a bit strange.
I think I was like, I'm not on Twitter anymore, so I'm not going to go on the outrage from there. But I saw on the forum like Tommy talking about it with Aguero and how those players were, and I think it's seeming quite obvious that Aguero he went in as a coach sort of for Argentina from the semi-final onwards to win the World Cup last year.
Yeah.
And I think maybe like the team, like they go to Pep and say, do you want Aguero in as a coach? Do you want Fernandinho as a coach? David Silva maybe as well. Like just be part of the backroom team. So then the players understand what it's like to be a City player, because those players, they were there for a decade. Fernandinho 9, but they understand what it's like to be at City, and they'll make them realise how important it is, because they'll look up to them for all the players there.
Well, the thing is, obviously, Fernandinho's still playing, you know, and obviously David Silva's still playing. So, like, you know, and I think Aguero's still, in the future, maybe Aguero's still dealing with his heart issues as well. So maybe one day, but like, I mean, I feel like we should be able to fix it anyway, you know, without resorting to the old people who've gone, you know, because I don't know, we didn't have Aguero last season and we won the league, and Fernandinho was basically on his way out, and you know, David Silva left ages ago now, and like, what about the general, like, how do you feel about the three at the back thing? You know, is it working for you?
It's not really working now, and maybe Pep, like having Rodri going back in, and then Rico Lewis being the solo DM. It's not it anymore. And I honestly, like, Pep's got so much more like capacity to think of these things than me and you.
Yeah, that's totally fair and true.
We're still here like trying to divulge it all, and it's like, I honestly, like, I can't compute it, let alone think what he's thinking.
It's that's
it's so annoying. It's so annoying because it's just like, want to try and work out what went wrong, but it's just like there's so many. There'll probably be like, he'll point out so many minute details that worked, and it's like, yeah, okay, but this, that, and the other, and it's just like it screamed more about who was on the bench rather than who was playing.
If you could choose a team now to start, like if you could choose an 11 based on everything we've got right now, what would you want to see?
I need to be on the I need to be like Pep to see who's on the training, like who's training the best, who's putting the commitment in.
Yeah.
Who's giving that little like when something goes wrong in training. And it's like, it's a shame because like games like today, Foden would have been brilliant for it. And I wonder whether he would have been that player who would have made a difference, him for Hooley, for example.
Yeah.
I love Hooley to bits, but he's, like Asan said, he's an impact sub. He's one of my favourite players for City, and there's nothing. He's an impact sub right now.
Right now he is. I think it's fair to say. I mean, he didn't play well today, Alvarez. He
No.
couldn't get into the game, to be honest.
He had the best. He had the best chance. Well, apart from Mahrez in the first half, he had the best chance where he had that little like 1-2 with De Bruyne, and he just got it out of his feet, and then like inches away from scoring.
It's It was without. I mean, I feel like even then with Mahrez, if we'd scored that, I feel like it still would have sort of papered over some cracks because this isn't. I don't think this is City's level, you know, and like I don't see us right now, and I'm happy to be wrong always, but I'm not saying this out in a negative way. I'm not saying this to be, you know, to make myself feel better. I'm just saying this because it's my general assessment. Like, I don't see City having right now the individual, the brilliance to just catch Arsenal, because I think Arsenal will make mistakes, but we're going to have to terrify them for that to actually win, you know, to make them make more. And like this should have been the chance today to really send a message to them. But what did we send? Did we send any message today to them, Louis? Other than that, we're not sure who we are.
If we're comparing contrasting games, look at how Arsenal played. I only watched it in glimpses. Like I watched the first half an hour in the North London derby where we lost, so we forget about that. It was really a loss, but anyway, like what's in that game? Arsenal just looked so in control. And Odegaard had the feel like De Bruyne would love it, or Bernardo would love that space that Odegaard had to score the second goal for Arsenal there.
Yeah.
Like two weeks ago or so. And like us, we like Spurs just do what they do against us normally, but it was still like, what were we doing?
Not much apparently. So we didn't do much. I just saw a quote, by the way, from Guardiola. And he's just sort of, I don't like it. He said, coming from Manchester to London.
Conference or with Sky?
I don't know. I don't know what it's for, but basically he said he's complained about how going from Manchester to London could be like going to Europe because it takes 4 hours 20 minutes to get to a hotel. Said it's exhausting. And I'm sorry. I'm not really sure. Talking about travelling to London is.
I'd say Arsenal had the worst of it. Like Saturday morning kickoff.
Either way, I think the travel thing, he's barking up the wrong tree there, surely, man. Because like no one's gonna buy that, right?
If he's and London's like, and they have that. I don't know if they're still at that same hotel. I can't remember who it was from, like Jack Gorn or like Paul Hurst or someone saying we have the Madison Hotel, the run right by Wembley. Because we're expecting to be at like semi-finals and finals every season there with the League Cup. Like obviously not this season in the FA Cup, and you can't be like you're saying that to us when we're like normal civilians. Where if we went to a place like that, that's once in a lifetime.
You can't talk about travel given the fact that like, you know, we've just had a week off. I don't know.
Sundays, like, this game on a Sunday is like the optimal, really, like through the whole weekend, because you have so much time to prepare for yourself to get in the right conditions. They even got City even have a like somewhere in London for
of course they do.
Registrations and that.
Yeah, they
so
do.
It's like you got no excuse for that, really.
No, not at all.
I don't want him to like going off straws.
It's not good. It's not good, mate. Louis, how do you feel about the rest of the season? You know, what's your expectations now and your wants for the rest of the season?
Like definitely a transition. Hopefully, but I'm worried now because we've lost our last 3 away games now in the Premier, like in all competitions, with United, then Southampton, United, and now Spurs. So we might get knocked out by Bristol City, which is right around the corner.
Oh God,
for me.
don't, man.
Nigel Pearson has got something worked up there for sure.
Oh no, is it Nigel Pearson? No.
Yeah, he's in charge of Bristol City. I know, former Leicester City boss. It's a transition season. Hopefully, like it's hard to tell right now.
Yeah,
it's just like when you get like focus on Villa next, have some sort of game plan for Arsenal like 3 days after that. the last time I felt like this. Is probably
About 2 weeks ago for me, I reckon.
Sven-Goran Eriksson years.
No, it's not that bad yet. Come on, probably about 3 years ago, 3 seasons ago. The 1921 or whatever it was. Tell you that one.
I felt a lot better than this though, because we had Foden, we had Sterling, Jesus, Aguero was good. He scored like hat tricks back then.
Oh, so does Haaland, to be fair,
But that's the thing that worries me the most. That ending, the cross from De Bruyne, which went to Grealish, and like the camera panned to him, and he looked. That was the most. Like, I'm worried. He might go to his dad and say, go to I can't remember the journalist. Go to him and like put some leak out and say like certain things, because obviously you can't go straight to Pep.
Yeah, I mean, he did. I mean, he looked frustrated. I mean, it's goodness.
There were so many chances as well. Like, he could have had probably double by now, but it's just like City are not used to like putting it in behind.
Yeah. Louis, I'm going to leave it there and wind down for the evening, mate. I'm going to go and cuddle my son and end this video. But Louis, it's been a pleasure chatting to you as always, man. Have a lovely evening. I'll catch you very, very soon. Louis, top bloke. Guys, I'm going to end it here because I am knackered and I'm done talking Manchester City. Catch you all in a bit. You're all superstars. Thank you for watching this video. Please do hit the like button and subscribe. And I'll catch you all very, very, very soon for another video. Go watch a match reaction as well. And I'll see you tomorrow for some form of 5 things learned, and probably try and get Asan to break it down, all this kind of stuff, and I'll see you very, very soon. Guys, thanks for watching. City, come on, what are you doing?